Hey guys, so welcome to I guess my first episode of teaching y'all crochet basics. Now, if you want to see how to turn balls of yarn like this, into something like this, follow me. So the first thing I do not leave the house without, if I know that I'm going to be crocheting for the day, is this. Okay, you don't have to have a case, you don't have to have a little booklet, but I do. Okay, because I have a lot of different crochet hooks. All my crochet hooks not even here. I have literal little storage bins full of crochet hooks. So, alright. So, you're going to have different size crochet hooks. Crochet hooks come in different sizes, different colors, different styles, different everything. You have ones that have wooden bases like this, like these, and they have metal hook pieces. You have full metal hooks. You have some that have, this has like a gripper type rubbery texture to it, obviously with a metal base. This one has a wooden thing. I almost got a splinter, y'all, so I had to wrap this joint, but we're not going to talk about that because I'm safe. So, and in my case, I also keep a pair of scissors. Now I know these are like hospital scissors, but let me tell you, they have like little ridges on them, and those ridges cut right through yarn. If you know, you know now. You also keep a seam ripper. I keep a seam ripper for when I'm doing, like when I'm attaching pieces, and sometimes I gotta separate the pieces if the stitches didn't go in right, or even if you don't have a pair of scissors, this will definitely separate your yarn at the end of whatever you're doing. You want to keep things like this. These are stitch markers. Stitch markers are good if you're working on a big piece. You don't necessarily need them for every piece, but they are very, very, very handy when you're trying to keep up with the number of stitches that you're doing, because when you start crocheting, you realize you can't count. Any of us, none of us can count. Even if you think you're good at math, you can't count. Then we also got hooks. I got hooks like this. Now I know you're like, what? Y'all, the joint, if you want to cut on. Oh, it's not working right. Oh, wait. It glow, y'all. It glow. Don't even trip. Oh, yep. It worked when it want to work. I actually do not recommend these because when you are actually looking at this light, I don't know what it does to my eyes. Some people might like it. I don't personally like it, especially when I'm trying to crochet in the dark. And they're expensive. So I expensively don't use this shit. But it's okay. It comes in handy for some people. If you want a plane, if you're in a dark space, which I hope you're not. But yeah, they have wooden ones. These wooden ones have sharper tips. That way you can, really get in there. They have ones with sharper tips, one with rounded tips. I like a rounded tip. A rounded tip is better for me because sometimes yarn has different layers. Weight for yarn really just does it for me. So I guess what I can show y'all basics of, we're going to get, scissors are universally used for a lot of projects for a lot of different people. I personally use a 5mm for most of my projects, besides when I make my granny squares. When I make my granny squares, I use a 4.5mm crochet hook. But you can see on other ones, it'll say what size it is. That's a 5. This is a 5.5. We got different sizes, so it's gonna go up. You literally see the size difference as it's going up. So it does get bigger, and it will make your projects bigger or smaller. So when I make hats, if somebody wants it bigger, if they have dreads or anything like that, I definitely use the 5.5. If they have a smaller, or they want a smaller fit, I have a client that he always gets smaller fits, and his is always this size. I make sure of it. Another thing I meant to mention that you should probably have in your little set of things, I had to get new ones, so that's why they're not in mine, is these yarn needles. They have different styles of yarn needles. The particular yarn needles that I had a different type of piece to put the yarn through. It opened and closed and got bigger and tighter and stuff like that, and eventually snapped. But these are metal ones, so I went and got these. When you're wanting to put pieces like this together, by the edges, like how I said, the base of, the stitch has edges. Y'all bear with me. But when you put them together, you'll put them together with this. You could put them together with a crochet hook. It'll give you a different look. But if you're trying to get the particular border I use for like my hats and stuff like that, I use this so you can see the edges of my block. box so you can see my work. It's clean and crisp. I'm not saying people's work doesn't look like, but I just particularly like the look. It's really cute. So with all of that, my crochet hooks and what you need in your little utensil box. You also need yarn, okay? If you want to turn this into this, you need yarn. So we have different types of yarn. We have different types of weight 4 yarn. We have solid colors, multicolors. This is a weight 4 yarn as well, but this is textured, kind of has phrase on it. And you see it's ombre out, very, very pretty. You have texture 4 yarn like this. I mean, weight 4 yarn like this, different. Once again, a different texture. You could tell it's different than something like this. This is acrylic. This is not acrylic. You can feel it. Ignore the crochet hooks. They stay falling. You will notice you lose them all the time. You could have just put it down and the bitch walks away. Okay? It walks away. They about to have a block party on the ground. Promise you. I'm trying to tell you, these joints run away. Then you have weight 7 yarn. You make things like blankets, as you see on the picture. This is more for blanket yarn. You see some people using this to make those big, like the little crop sweaters and stuff like that. But then you can also make stuff like not exactly educated in the way that you should probably say that word, but you can make little stuffed animals, little plushies, little stuff like that. That's initially what this was for. Me and my friend were supposed to return it, and we didn't return this. We were supposed to. I still have it. Let's return it. But yeah, so yes, you have all different types of yarn, and each weight yarn will give you something different, a different outcome, a different look, a different size. And it just, you know, you gotta play with it. You gotta see what you like. I personally like weight 4 yarn. I love it. I love it. It's what most of my pieces are made out of, is weight 4 yarn. That's what you see most people work with, is weight 4 yarn. Now, you don't personally have to have these things if you don't make particular things. I have bobbleheads all over the house because I have different types of hats that I make. I'm a hat maker for real. I make pieces as well. So if you make pieces, you start making clothes pieces. You might want to go get a mannequin. You might want to get an adjustable mannequin. They make different things. You know, you look up what most sewers use, and you know they work. You get the little bodies. I personally want to get a little body. I did a piece for my basically best friend. That's my dog. She got a little sweater, and I wish I would have bought the body because I would have been able to size it a little better. But you know, you live and you learn, and you learn as you crochet, and it's a very tedious process, but it's very fun. It's very rewarding. You get to wear your pieces. Other people get to wear your pieces. You get to, you know, get stopped. Oh, I like that. I like that. I hear that all the time, and it just makes you feel good. So with all that being said, I'm probably missing some things, but those are the basic things you need. Yarn and crochet hooks, and get some stitch markers, get some scissors, get things that will help you and assist you in making and creating what you want. If you make the plushies, they have, you know, the little fiber that goes inside. I have bags of that all over the place. You know, you'll just, you know, you'll see what works for you, and you'll see what you like. And I hope y'all enjoy the journey of figuring it out, because I did. I have a really good friend. She really got me into crocheting, like, for real. She crocheted in a different state, but when I broke my fingers, I was like, she been busting it out, let me try it too, because she really busting it out. So you can really do it if you want to do it, and you'll really enjoy it. I think most people will. It's really therapeutic. Enjoy.